Okay, for the purposes of recording, good evening, whoever's watching this afterwards. If you do have any questions whilst we're doing this, please let me know. So we are in the gym today, hurrah, hurrah. And hopefully, I've just said to everyone, but hopefully it will record the whole hour. So I've got bands out. If you don't happen to have a band, don't even slightly worry about it. Whatever you can, we can do everything without the band, so it's no problem. Right, so let's start sitting down. And what I want to do is really do a quite a strong relaxation methodology. It feels really, really nice, but you do have to sort of relax and concentrate. It's probably best if you close your eyes on this, because it's a lot easier to visualize stuff when your eyes are closed. But do just make sure, particularly in this section, that you do have a jumper on if it's a little bit cooler. So where I am, it's quite cool, because we're going to be lying for a few minutes. So just make sure that you're warm enough, otherwise it's not actually that comfortable. So what I want you to do is roll down onto your mat. Hopefully you still see me. And just make sure that wherever you're putting your feet, I would ideally like them up so your feet are actually on the floor, is comfortable. Okay, so as we discussed, Steve, if you want to put one or two pillows either side, just make sure that is coccyx is plumped up, because we are going to be on our backs for a few minutes. So just have a little rig around and just make sure that you are comfortable. If I'm just going to take my hair out, that's not. If you do have a hair bobble in, it's probably best if you do take that out, because I'm going to ask you to roll your head shortly. So just make sure that you're comfortable. I want you to wriggle your toes and just wriggle your hands. Okay, so we're just getting a little bit of movement in the toes and in the hands. Right, close your eyes, and I want you to take 3 nice, long, deep breaths. And what we're going to try to do is something called a 4-4 cycle. So it's breathe in for 4, hold for 4 if you can, and then breathe out for 4, and that's 4 seconds, a count of 4. It's actually not that easy. So if you're trying to do 4 but you're managing 3, that's absolutely fine. So it's in through your nose, hold, out through your mouth. So in your own time, we're just going to do a few cycles of that. Breathing in. Hold. And breathing out. Keep going. So you guys carry on. What I want you to think about is just trying really hard to relax. So as you're breathing out, I want you to think you're sinking everything to mat. Be really, really heavy. So your body should feel heavier every time you're breathing out. And just push your back nice and gently into the mat whilst you're breathing out. Let's go one more round. So finish the one you're doing. Okay, hopefully that would have got you in a better frame of mind of for the Pilates class this evening. Any stresses, we just need to expel the stresses. I've had a very, very stressful day today, but we're not going to have a very stressful hour. We're going to have a nice, relaxing, chilled hour. So the second part of the visualization is I want you to take different parts of your body that are actually on the floor, and we're going to have a think about them and then relax them. So I normally start with feet, but I actually want to start with head this evening. So with your hands, either place them on your hip bones or place them on the floor, but with your palms up, whichever's more comfortable. But just make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. So just try and relax your shoulders. We're going to bring our arms up and take your shoulders off the floor. And then if you can wriggle very slightly, you should be able to feel your spine entirely on the floor, just your spine. Now, if you just very, very, very gently release your arms and bring them back down to where you were or onto your hips, your shoulder blades should sort of spread out and just make them much flatter onto the floor. That's it. You should be much more comfortable, much flatter now. Right, so thinking about your head and thinking about the weight of your head. So heads are heavy. They are heavy, and they're also not round. Everyone thinks the head's round. It's not. It's got lots of knobbly bits on it. So the first thing I want you to do is, if you were lying in sand, you'd be able to make a little divot with your head. So if you just give it a little rock from side to side and visualize, close your eyes, visualize what that would do in sand. So you'd feel the sand moving to the side from one side to the other. And just visualize what that would be doing. Now we're going to bring our head all the way to one side, so your ear is towards the sand. And just take a deep breath and relax. That should very gently release your neck out. So bring your head over and the other side. Bring it back to center. Put your hands, clasp your hands together and just bring them around the back of your head. Now, maybe if you are very stressed, that movement to the side is not, we'll stretch that out further. Just bring your elbows right out to the side and then your hands clasped around the back of your head. And what I want you to do is lift your head using your shoulders. So if you take a deep breath in, lift, and then lift your head. So your hands are cupping your head. What you'll realize is, first of all, how heavy your head is. And secondly, get your shoulders to take the weight. It's a little bit more shoulders than core. Core will very, very slightly engage. But just try and relax your head into your hands. And you sort of realize how heavy it is. It's a good few kilos. And then place your head down and relax. Right, now, I want you to do the same thing again, but we're going to just slightly manipulate your the top of your spine. So if you just lift your head, and then you're going to very gently curl your head forwards. Keep your shoulders dead on the floor. And just roll it forwards, and your thumbs should be right at the base of your spine, up the top half of the spine. Just hold it there. You're not yanking your neck forwards. You're actually curving it round at the back. Again, just use the weight of your head to your advantage. Really get a really lovely stretch right at the top. Okay, just slowly bring your head down and relax your elbows out to the side. Okay, release your head. Bring your hands back down. Right, now we're going to bring our arms up again, and you're going to release those shoulders. So your shoulder blades, if you're thinking about the sand, your shoulder blades are off the sand now. And then I want you to cross your arms over and hold on to your shoulder blades. So you're giving yourself a hug, basically. And then you're going to lift your elbows up. And that should feel like a nice stretch around the back, but we're going to exaggerate that. So you do need to sort of keep holding your shoulder blades quite strongly. And you're going to move from one side to the other. So just rock, keep everything else still. Just rock your shoulder off the sand. And then you're going to bring it back to center and then rock your other shoulder off the sand. Your hips aren't coming with you. So they're still, legs are still. It's your torso that's moving, and then rock back So you swing over from one side to the other, and you just sort of heel your shoulder off the sand and then back again. That's it. Bring it back to center. Bring your arms up and clasp them together. And then we're going to do the same thing. So you're coming across, and then you're coming across. Now keep those shoulder blades off the floor. And you're very slightly pulling one arm, very, very, very gentle. So your shoulder blade is coming off the floor. Right, one more each side. This should feel really nice right around your shoulder blades. Try and keep your shoulders away from your ears. So just relax them down, but then bringing them across. Okay, excellent. Bring yourself back to center and just really slowly drop those arms down and to rest where you had them before, so either on your hips or on the floor. Good. So shoulder blades around the back should be, oh, okay, that's better. Right, I want you to visualize bringing your attention down to the middle of your back now. And what we're going to do is just gently engage your core and then lift your knees towards you. So your feet are off the floor. Your hands are going to clasp around, so you're going to create a little ball. And then what I want you to do is lift your head, so you're creating a little tiny ball. Now, where you should feel is right in the middle of your back, right in the center. Should be taking the pressure there. I just want you to rock tiny rocks from one side to the other. Now, again, if you've got some real back pain there, it should be quite nice. Kind of relieves. Now, if your neck's taking this, put one hand behind your neck and behind your head. Little tiny rocks. Come back to center, and then you're peeling yourself back down to where we were. Just nice and slowly use your core and bring your feet down to the floor. Lovely. Right, attention down to your pelvis. Now, that whole pelvic bone all the way round. Actually, it doesn't really matter who you are. Pelvic bones are quite big, and they're made up of a few different bones, but they are actually quite big. So I just want you to rock from side to side. And again, think about the sand and what that would do, what shape it would make in the sand. It shouldn't really be your glutes. It's higher up than that. So just think about bones rather than muscles. Just gently rock from one side to the other. And what this should do is really gently release any tension in your lower back. Steve, hopefully this is okay for you. We're not quite low enough for coccyx yet. It's a bit higher than that. That's it. Keep your pelvis tilted so you can fit it flat on the floor. Okay, bring yourself back to center. I want you to take a deep breath in and then try and sink the whole top half of your body and just really try and go, ugh. Deep breath in and release. Okay, feel the weight of your pelvis. It should feel quite heavy now. Really sunk into the sand. Okay, the last place I want you to draw your attention to is your feet. So when you're walking on sand, feet make the loveliest impressions. So I want you to just wriggle your toes and just feel as if you would have sand in between your toes, and that really nice feeling of holiday. That's it. Now spread your toes out and make that really nice sand impression on your feet. That's it. Take a deep breath in and then push your feet to the floor. Deep breath in and release. Heavy. Heavy legs, heavy legs. Wonderful. Okay, so I want you to take one more deep breath in and feel the whole of your body feel very, very heavy and push down into the sand. Deep breath in and release. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Lovely. Right, you should be feeling much more relaxed now. Just wriggle your toes again And I want you to scrunch your hands and release them. So you're going to do little balls and little stars. Really stretch your hands out, bring them into a ball, scrunch and stretch. If you do get cold hands, this is really, really good for circulation. Scrunch and stars. Okay, bring your hands together and we're going to roll your wrists. Now, if you do have particularly weak wrists, just make sure that you've got your wrist guards on. We're going to put some pressure on wrists in a bit. That's it. Click, crack. If you've been doing a lot of typing today, they might be feeling a little bit cracky. Give them a shake. Okay, and relax. Right. So whilst we're down in this position, Steve, if you're okay still, we're going to just have a really nice hip stretch out. So stretching your hips, there's a lot of tension held in hips. They're particularly difficult for stress. So we're going to just have a little go at giving those a good stretch out before we use them. So I want you to put one foot on top of your knee, and then you're going to bend that knee out. Okay, so knee out, you sort of made a little sort of triangle. Then what I'd like you to do is take your hands and you're going to feed them through and collect that leg. Now, this is often very, very tight for people. So this may be very, very uncomfortable. If it is particularly uncomfortable, then just release your legs slightly, okay? But if you can have your foot onto your knee, that's the biggest stretch. If it's doing absolutely nothing, bring it closer. The closer it is, the more of a stretch out that's getting. It should be quite a good stretch for everyone, no matter how flexible you are. So where you should feel this is all the way around your hip bone and into your glute. So if you've been doing some particularly tough glute work, this is going to feel quite uncomfortable. Now the foot that's free, just give it a little circle. So your ankle should have a real nice little circle there. And release your ankles. That's it. Okay. Nice and slowly release your leg and bring that down. And then we're going to swap. And bring that out. And again, you might find that one side is very slightly stiffer than the other. So just relax and bring your legs through. Hold on to that nice and tightly. And just give your hip a few seconds just to get used to the fact that it's being stretched. That's it. So when you're ready, you're just going to roll that ankle again. Try to relax your neck down, your head down onto the floor. That's it. Nice little rolls. Give it a few seconds and it relaxes. There we go. Okay, and we're going to release and bring your leg down. Okay, swapping legs again. And we're going to bring that foot back onto your knee. Now, the first way, say, for example, you have got your right knee up. We're going to go towards your right. So you're not coming across your body yet. You're going to go one way and then you're coming across. So depending on how your back's feeling today and flexibility, you may not be able to get all the way to the floor. Don't worry. I just don't want your shoulders coming up. So whatever your shoulder's going to allow, keep them on the floor, hands out to the side, and just relax your legs down. And you should feel that right on your hip and right around your lower lumbar. Slightly on your core as well, which feels quite nice, your abs. Right, take a deep breath in and lift. Just use your muscles to lift up. And now we're coming across your body. So if you've got your right leg up, it's coming across to the left. So you should be feeling like you're coming across your own body. If you can, you're going to put your hand onto your knee and just bring that down to the floor. Don't worry if you can't, just as long as you're getting a stretch. If you want to exaggerate that, look away from your knee. Head across the other way. Nice deep breath in. Not that easy to breathe in this. Twisting your lungs. Okay, deep breath in and lift. Use your muscles. That's it. Right. So let's swap legs. So foot down, other foot up. And then you're going to come away. So if your left leg's up, you're going to your left. That's it. Just relax that down. And you should feel it roughly in this kind of area here. So your hip back and abs. Try and relax. Relax your shoulders. Deep breath in and lift. And then we're coming across, pendulum swing over to the other side. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And knee on and look the other way if you're able to. Try and keep those shoulders on the floor. Good. Release and lift. Excellent. Right. Okay. So back should be feeling really nice. Hips should be feeling pretty good now. So one for Scott. We're going to lift your leg up. Now, first of all, foot on the floor and the other one up. If you can, straight. If you can't, as straight as you can get. Okay, so it may be, particularly with Scott this evening, that is not happening when it's straight. Just as straight as you can get it. And ideally 90 degrees, so straight up. If you're feeling like that's absolutely fine and your hamstrings are coping quite nicely, then we're going to flex your foot. That will extend the stretch. One leg at the moment, don't hold on to it. Right. Now you're going to bring the other one up to join. So lift the other leg up, straighten it, and then flex if you can. So this should feel a little bit like you're looking like you're going to walk on the ceiling. So your feet are ready to walk across the ceiling. You need to bring them upright as much as you can. Keep that back nice and flat. Steve, this shouldn't affect your coccyx because, again, you're sitting up higher. But if it's uncomfortable, then just prop something underneath your glutes. Now, this shouldn't be that easy, okay? My hamstrings are very flexible and this isn't that easy. So it should be quite uncomfortable. If it is far too uncomfortable, then you're bending your knees, okay? If not, we're holding it there. Now, if that's not too bad and you're like, yeah, okay, we're all good, then what I want you to do is we're going to form something called a baby. So you're going to bend your knees and bring your knees towards you, okay? There, you can hold on to there if you want to. If you're like, I think I can reach and this is not going to affect me negatively, I want you to hold on to your toes. If you are going to hold on to your toes, I really want you to really hold on to them, not just touch them, because we're going to need to hold on to them relatively strongly in a second. So this is called a baby from a yoga perspective. And what this does is, yes, to a certain extent, a little bit of the back of legs, but it's also your inner thighs and your hips. So the whole lot's getting stretched out. And now what we're going to do is rock very, very, very gently. Please don't go too far because you will fall over. And then this should be really nice for your mid and lower back. You should be able to feel that. That's it. Really nice, gentle little rock. Your hips should be trying desperately to relax. Okay, stay like this if you want to. If you're like, actually, this is quite nice. If you do want that back of your leg stretch again, Scott, you're going to need to feeling brave on this one. You need to extend your legs. So if you straighten your legs in that position and you can carry on rocking, it is significantly harder and stronger. So if you want to do that, by all means. I would remain doing little rocks, otherwise you'll literally just fall. Hold on. Back of your legs. Good old stretch, this one. Okay, bring yourself back to center wherever you are. If you have got them straight, bend, and then you're going to bring them back together. And then we're going to do little tiny circles. Steve, please watch this one because this does get your coccyx, okay? If that's too uncomfortable, just stay into a ball position or put your feet down. And then the other way. So everyone should be feeling this. If it should be nice rather than uncomfortable if you haven't hurt your coccyx. It's right down the bottom. Right down the bottom. That's it. Okay, feet down. Wonderful. Okay, whilst we're in this position, I want to do a nice level of core and just really wake that core up. So we are going to put your hands to your temples. If this is uncomfortable in your neck, because we really don't want to strain your neck here, put your, oh, sorry guys, I've knocked my There you go. Put your hands behind your head. If not, we're going to keep to the temples. So what we're going to do is a really gentle crunch and then an oblique crunch. A crunch, then an oblique crunch, okay? Pilates style rather than hip style, Ursula. So we're going to take a deep breath in and tilt your pelvis, engage your core and lift, okay? Now, with a crunch, and I say this all the time, try not to yank your head forward. What you're doing is your nose is coming to the ceiling and then you're going to bring it down. So your head and your shoulders come to the floor. Now, head, shoulders off the floor, and then you're going to reach your arm out to the opposite leg. Does that make sense? And then back down. So normal crunch, up, breathe, and then up and across. Hold it, and back down. This should be waking up your system. Up, breathe out, hold, down, and up, breathe out, across. Hold it, and down. Definitely no rush, okay? This is not a fast move. Just work your way through, up and across. Okay, let's do 2 more across. So you're going to do 2 more up and across, hold, and bring it down. And up, really controlled squeeze. First 2 abs should be really feeling this and across. Okay, 1 more of each, up and down, up and across, hold, and back down, and last one, up and across, hold. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Beautiful. Right, that should have woken up the top part of your core and your abs. They should be thinking, oh my God, okay, I've done some work now. Your obliques, because of the fact that we twisted, they've just woken up. They haven't done, it's not horrific, but they have just woken up. So I want to wake up the lower half now. Really, really excellent way of doing that is a really gentle flutter kick. So again, I don't want you to go mental. Normally flutter kicks, you can go quite fast. But we're going to put our hands underneath our bums. Again, Steve, just be aware of this. Okay, it should be okay because you're not putting pressure on it, but you're supporting it. And then we're going to bring our legs out. And then it's tiny, tiny, tiny little move. Steve, if you're having absolutely none of that and that is not working, bring your legs up and you can do it there, okay? I'll still give you, do some work. So bringing out nice, tiny little moves. I mean, a flutter kick is just the nicest name, but it's really not very easy. So what I want you to concentrate on is your legs know what they're doing. They're just moving a tiny bit, is keeping that back on the floor. Really use your abs and concentrate and keep your back on the floor. That's it. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees in. Wonderful. Just take your hands away from underneath. Good. Right. Okay, if we're feeling good and your abs should have woken up now, Steve, can you not rock up? Can you come to the side? Everyone else, if you take a leg and just roll yourself up nice and gently. Please give yourself a second because we have been on the floor for a little while. Just going to get rid of my locks out the way. Okay. If you've got a band, whichever band you've got, I'm gonna demo on the red one. Then if you want to slide that on and then just put that just above your knees, and we're going to spin over. So we're going to do work that combines core and glutes. So first of all, we're onto all fours. I just want you to roll up into a cat stretch. Really nice tall cat stretch. Bring it through to the center and release. Deep breath in all the way up, release, all the way up, cat stretch. Bring it through and release. Good. Okay, back to center. So now we're going to do a combination of Superman, but because it's got the resistance band on it, just makes it harder on your glutes. So first things first, lifting one hand off the floor. Just lift it. If I do it this side, it's going to be easier for you to see. So just lift it off. Now have a think. Is there too much pressure on your wrist? Is there too much pressure on your knees? Just move around very slightly and think, where's the pressure? It should be about equal between your knees and your wrist. Let's try the other side. So hand down, other side up. Just make sure, again, pressure is about equal. Just engage your core and hands down. Right, so now when we're going to lift one up, I want you to lift the opposite knee up, okay? So engage, lift up opposite knee. Opposite knee is just off the floor. Now, this isn't that easy. If you're feeling like you're wobbling around all over the place, just keep resetting. If that knee keeps coming down on the floor, just reset. Hold it there. Try really hard not to wobble. Knee down, hand down. Good. Reset. Hand up, knee up. Opposite side this time. One side's always easier than the other. Just try to breathe. Try to concentrate. If you really are wobbling all around, reset. Try it again. Knee down, hand down. Good. This is harder than it looks, by the way. It looks really easy, but if you're thinking, oh my God, it's not that easy. Right. No, then we're going to do the same thing again, but I want you to push your knee away from you. So hand up, knee up, and then you're going to push that away and hold it up here. Harder again, because that resistance band is doing some work. Steve, if you've got sort of a mid one on, that should be okay for you. Hold it here. Try really hard not to wobble. If you are wobbling, reset. If it's too hard, put your hand down. Knee down. Oh, that was my knee. Did you hear that? Hand down. Yuck. Right, other side. Hand up, knee up, push. So leg is bent still. Leg is bent. If you don't have a resistance band, it doesn't matter. This is still very difficult. Hold it. Hold it. That's it. Knee down, hand down. Excellent. Right, if that's hard enough and you're like, oh my God, I'm not going any further, please do that again. If you're like, no, bring it on, we can go harder. Then we can hand up, knee up, bring your leg out, and then you're going to pulse that leg. So keep the hand there, pulse the leg, knee down and up, down and up. Now your hand doesn't have to stay here. It can come out to the side if you need it to. But basically, I just want it off the floor. Knee up and down. Don't quite touch the floor with it. Pulsing it. You're pulsing it up. Let's do two more. Pulse. Pulse. Glutes should really be kicking in there. Knee down, hand down. If this is too much on your wrist, particularly messy, then obviously you can put your hands down like that if that's better for you. Or you can lean back more and just put more of the pressure onto your knees, okay? Right, let's go the other side. I'm trying to remember what I did now. So up one side, knee off, lift, hold it there for a sec, and then we're pulsing. So down and squeeze, down and squeeze. Again, even if you haven't got a band on, you should be able to feel this in your glutes. Balance, core having to hold you here. Squeeze, down and squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Knee down, hand down. Excellent. Just sit yourself back for a sec and just give yourself a little rest. If you want to just roll your wrists, absolutely fine. That's it. Right, let's do a little puppy wag. So back onto all fours. And you just bring your knees and your feet together and just give yourself a little wag. That's it. Okay, fantastic. Bring yourself back. Right, let's advance that a tiny bit more for the glutes, okay? So your balance, this is a bit less on balance, a bit more on glutes, this exact one. Keep band on, optional, of course. Steve, if you want to advance the band, by all means, if you're not getting enough. Hands down, so you've got your forearms on the floor, and you're going to grasp either hands together or just put them on the floor. And this puts more pressure onto your glutes. So you should be in quite a comfortable position. What I don't want you to do is arch like that. So we're not in a cow position. I want you to tuck your pelvis under a little bit so your core is engaged. It does need to, otherwise you'll fall over. You're going to lift one knee off the floor and then scoot your leg away. Can you see that? And then we're going to lift. So the movement is touch your toe on the floor and lift. Just be aware of the fact that your back can arch quite a lot. And I'm having to concentrate quite a lot to ensure that back doesn't start doing that, making sure that it doesn't, because actually it will go into your back and I want it in your glute, not your back. Squeeze up, down, squeeze up. If you've got a medium or a hard band on this one, it's quite hard. Squeeze, squeeze, that's it. Right, let's do 3 more. Try to balance. 1, 2, core in, and 3, bring your knee back. Lovely. Hopefully you should have felt that in your glute. It's quite strong. Right, reset yourself. Knee off, slide your other leg back, and we're lifting up. Now, what to avoid is your hips twisting. So if I show you, keep going on this side, if I show you, we're not doing that. So try and avoid twisting. Don't bring your leg up if it has to twist, okay? So you'll bring it up as far without the twist. Bring it down at that. Really should be feeling that in the glutes. 1 more. And lift and bring it back down. Wonderful. Okay, to release out of that, just come back into a child's pose. Head down, arms out, relax. Relax everything out, that's it. Excellent. Right, okay, I think that's quite enough of that angle. So we're going to come onto the side now. Not exactly any easier, to be fair. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable. If you are on a slightly harder surface, you may need a cushion underneath, because on your hip bones is relatively, if it's not really soft, you might feel that. So just bring yourself completely onto your side. Prop your head up if you want to, or bring it down or put a little cushion in between. I'm going to prop it up so I can see you, or can see the screen. I want your legs bent, band still on if you've got one, and you're going to straighten the top leg. Okay. Now, what you may find is that your hips start folding forwards or backwards. Your legs will do what they're going to do. That's not the problem. It's trying to ensure that your hips remain stacked. So if you start folding forwards, your muscles are trying to get away from the work. So try and keep them stacked. Hand in front of you to stabilize yourself if you want to. Okay, we're going to lift that leg so it's parallel, and then we're going to lift up. Now, where you should feel this is around the glute medius area here. Okay, so it's basically right at the side by your bum. Squeeze. And again, depending on this, what band you've got on, even if you've got no band on, you should feel this quite strongly. Just try and keep everything stacked. Don't fold forwards or backwards. Keep it there. That's it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Just relax it down. If that's, oh my God, just bring your leaf forwards, and it totally switches off the muscles. Okay. Right. Okay. So advancing that a little bit more. Again, if that's too tough and you're like, then just stay with where we were. You're going to bring it up, and now we're going to pulse it. So when you're up already and then you're pulsing it even further, that's much harder. So bringing it up and then you're pulsing. 10, 9, 8, you should feel that. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, breathe in, breathe out, lift, and 10, 9, 8, 7, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, bring it down, breathe in 1 more. Up Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, all there, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, bring it forward. Oh. How many times do I do this a week and it still hurts? Oh my God. Oh. That's it. Just let it. It may border on feel a bit crampy. So if it does actually cramp, obviously stop. But it borders on it. It's just lactic acid. It will go. It will go. Just give it a little massage if it's feeling particularly tough. Right, now as elegantly, as beautifully as we can, which is in no way elegant or beautiful, no matter what you do with this, we're going to up and flip over to the other side. Now, if you want to, you can just flop to the other side, but you won't be able to see the screen. So up, spin it around, back again. Now, the only trouble with this side is you've got to lean on the side you've just done. Oh, that's relatively uncomfortable. So try and get as comfy as you can. Again, you can bring your head down, rest it on a cushion, or up, prop it up, whatever you prefer. So we've got the bend in our legs. Just make sure the band hasn't moved. Then we're going to straighten that top leg. And we're going to start just with a comfortable lift and down. Just make sure, again, that your hips are stacked. They're not starting to roll forwards or backwards. You'll hit the wrong muscles otherwise. Hand up to you, so it can be propping at the front, or it can be at the side. That's it. That's it. Bring it up. Squeeze. Let's go a few more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Bringing it down and rest. Right. Okay. If we're feeling brave, we're going to bring it up. Are we ready? Pulsing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Oh, it's already hurting. Breathe in and out. Lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, bring it down. Last set. Keep it stacked. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down. Ah. Just bring that knee forward. Oh my God. Together. Oh, rest it out. Give it a little wriggle if you need to. Stop that acid. Oh. That's it. Right. Oh, that's definitely quite enough of that. So just bring yourself up and then flip yourself to the side. So just be careful on that, obviously, and slide that off. Good. Right. I wanted to do a little bit more, a tiny bit more on core. I'm just trying to think about Steve and making sure that's not going to hurt you. Steve, give this a go. It may be that it's too uncomfortable, but I really want you to try and prop the pillow behind you. A roll down might be just too uncomfortable. If it is, I just want you to put your hands behind and just try and, you're going to lift one leg at a time, okay, and just try and work your core that way, okay? So everyone else, well, actually, do you want to give this a go? Because it's quite difficult anyway. So if you want to put your hands behind your back, just feel quite comfortable, okay? Just relax the top half. And we're going to start by pointing your toes, okay? Making sure that doesn't cramp. And then you're going to lift one knee towards you and down. And then the other side, lift. So your hip flexors have got to do a bit of work here, but your core's got to stabilize you. Lift and down. Lift and down. Right, now try both. So try to keep still. Try not to bend your elbows. Lift and up. And what you'll find is your hip flexors right down here and those lower abs are doing this work. Okay, lift and down. Try and keep yourself nice and upright, decent posture. Lift and down, lift and down. One more, and down, and put your feet down. Excellent. Right, again, Steve, if you're like, oh, too uncomfortable, just stay where you are. Everyone else, if you want to bring yourself down, just turn to the side, bring yourself down and just try and sit back further, okay? We're just going to exaggerate what we've done. So onto your toes, 1 and forwards, okay? 1 and forwards. Straighten, bend towards you, straighten, lower abs, hip flexors, and forwards. Let's go one more. Bring it towards you and straighten. Okay, bring that foot away and just keep that toe pointed. In and extend. In and extend. Let's go one more. Bring it in, extend it out. Lovely. As long as there's not too much pressure on your shoulders there. This is where it gets a little bit tougher, so just make sure that your hands are plastered to the floor. As you can imagine, both. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Right. So bringing it back. Okay. So tilt your pelvis, engage your core, lift. Now, if you're like, that's as far as we're going, I'm not going out there, then it's there. Okay. So point, lift and point. If you're mad, you're going to straighten and bring it in, straighten. If you are like, oh my God, Ursula, watch your back on this one, darling. Even if you want to bring it out a little bit, bring it in, bring it out a little bit. Go as far as you can without it hurting your back. It needs to be your core, lower abs that are doing the work here. Out and back. Let's go 2 more. Bring it out and in. Control. Probably shaking a bit now. Out, straighten. Control. Brilliant. Roll it up. Cross your legs. Stretch it out. Let's go the other way. Just roll it down. Now, again, if you can't roll that down, you're bringing it up and you just bring your hands forward and drop your head. Whatever's more comfortable, okay? Bring it down. Good. When you're ready, roll it up nice and gently. Okay, so we're going to flip over. Right, we are 5 minutes away. I'm just going to tell you this now. Nessie, you're in charge. We are going to do some hip flexor movements, okay? So it's this, lizards. You've done it before. So for the members who haven't done this before, Nessie will take you through lizards. So we're going to put 1 foot forward, and then we're going to slide down, hands to the floor, and we're going to push down, okay? Hip flexors, super tight most of the time. Relax, 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 relax. Now your knee might want to come to the side, it's absolutely fine. Just don't lift your foot off the floor. Keep the foot on the floor. Relax your shoulders. Hold it there, just really sink it down. Sink, sink, sink. Good. Use your hands and push, hands and foot push away. Right, Scott, one for you. We're going to come up into a triangle. So we're going to do this one side and the other. So you're going to push up and we're into a triangle position here. Hands to the floor if you can, if not, you're up here. But those legs are straight. Now you should feel this very strongly down the back of both legs. If anything, it'll be the stronger leg is the one further forward. Feet facing front. Hands on the floor if you can. Drop your head. Super, super, super strong for back of legs, this one. Try and relax. Try really hard. The nearer you are to your feet, so if you're up here, that's easier. If you're right back here, that's much harder. So just choose your ability level. Relax. Okay, bending your back knee, bring yourself back down. Lovely. And we're going to swap. So exactly the same thing the other side. 1 foot forwards and slide forwards, and then bring your hands down if you want to. If you're like, I can't bring that down, I can't do that, it's too strong, you're bringing yourself up here. Okay. You can also, if you're anywhere near your sofa, you can hold onto the sofa if it's in front of you. If not, bring your hands right down to the floor and then just drop your shoulders. Try really hard just to release your shoulders. Really try and relax, 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 relax. That's it. Sink it down. Good. Okay, bring yourself back. You're tucking your back toe under, and then we're coming into your triangle. So bring it up, push that foot, heel down, straighten your legs, hands to the floor. If you can, drop your head. Holding it here. Nice, strong one. Oh, that is strong. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Bring both feet together, and then we're going to relax down. If you can, tuck your toes, hands under your toes. Just relax down, really relax your back. Heavy arms, heavy head. Okay, nice and slowly, I'm going to roll up. Nice and slowly, stack your vertebrae. The head's going to go last. All the way up, deep breath in, arms up. And relax down. And again, arms up. And relax down. Wonderful. Right, finishing. My God, am I actually able to finish? I'm not even going to say it. And bring ourselves down and all the way up onto your toes if you can. Squeeze your glutes and lift. Lovely. And down. All the way up. Squeeze. Lift. One more. Up. Squeeze and lift. Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant, everyone. Thank you so much. We made it. Yes. Right. Hang on a second.